Hey everybody, thank you for a great week number 2. I don't know about you, but I felt like things are starting to really come together for us and that there was a little less anxiety in the room, a little less panicking. And I read through your feedback and I'm glad that what we did today kind of helped put it all together for you. I shared it with, I think it was Montaz there at the end of class. Did I just pronounce your name improperly? If I did, Montaz, I'm so sorry. And I probably just did it again too. Oh, goodness, I feel like a jerk. Anyway, so I apologize if I did mistakenly pronounce it. Anyway, as I was saying, I explained like the writing process, it's such a pain in the butt because it's a puzzle. You know, I want you to imagine there's 8 puzzle pieces, okay? And you have no idea what it is that these puzzle pieces are going to make a picture of. And you have to sit there and try to put all those puzzle pieces together. And when you do, when it's all together, you see this beautiful, beautiful picture. And that's kind of what's happening to you right now. Where I gave you all this information during week 1 and a lot of you felt really overwhelmed because you wanted to see a final tangible product and I just couldn't give that to you yet. I needed you to walk through that writing process and everything. And today we continued on with that writing process and I was so excited to read a lot of your feedback. You guys saw that we were doing that I was actually walking you through that process. So what we did today in class was we looked first off, your overall efforts in class, and you know, some of you realize you need to step it up some, and I really have the confidence that you're going to. I'm not kidding you. I said that I am really excited and proud of the work that you guys have been doing so far. And I have a lot of good vibes in terms of I really believe that this class is going to be highly successful and that you guys are going to do a great job. But anyway, so we spent some time looking at our overall effort in class, and then we started into serial killers, but not the, the hardcore stuff, that's CJ class. And then we went into talking about how to logically sequence a paper outline with those serial killers. We then spent some time with thesis statements, and then the most common mistakes we make with those thesis statements. And that led us into a great conversation about individual body paragraphs and how to develop them using our 3 questions, which are what is it, why is this thing important to me to read about, and what is the impact or the influence of it on things. We also concluded our day with looking at some sample papers. All of you were easily able to identify the one that was, in fact, a hot mess example that didn't really have any organized structure to it and who hadn't gone through the process. And you were all able to also identify the really solid one, which was good. Okay, so what does all of this mean? Really, what does it all mean? Well, honestly, if you are starting to identify that you're in the middle of the writing process here, then you are totally getting it. If you remember, that first step of the writing process was just to get you to start to put down ideas onto paper, and that's what I made you do. And you did some little preliminary organizing it. And then today in class, I made you explore it some more. You started to initiate some deeper thinking on it and starting to actually now with the outlining and things, starting to actually start to organize those ideas. So out of our 8 puzzle pieces, we've pretty much put together 6 of them. So hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with what it is that you are doing, okay? So continue to expand your thinking. Again, I'm going to bring this over here really quick. And if you, with your expanding your thinking, you should be looking at this Essay 1 Writing Inventory document, which can be found in your Week 1 course recap for the class. And these bullet points. So you're definitely doing this one right here, no matter what, is a mandatory. And then you're also doing this one as a mandatory question. But then you want to pick out 3 more of these bullet points to make sure you do those as well, okay? Like a really good one, locate and describe 4 or 5 things you want to change about your writing, But anyway, so these are here for you to help you to explore and expand your overall writing. Again, in the end, you want to be doing 5 of these total. Okay, so let's put this all together and start to talk about what all of this means, kind of what your next steps are for Monday in class. Let me get this lined up for you. Okay, number 1, What you need to do is you need to take whatever writings, whatever ideas that you came up with before you walked into class today, and I want you to compare it to that writing inventory document. Here, I'm going to make you all kind of like shocked a little second here. I'm going to bring it over here. So I want you to compare whatever you have written. I want you to compare it against this document, okay? And I want you to make sure that you have, in fact, addressed at least 5 of those bullets. If you haven't dealt with 5 of them, then you need to pick out the ones you want to do, and then I want you to develop them, okay, and think about it. Then step 2, you need to write your thesis statement. And if it's helpful, it seemed like this was pretty helpful for you to use that roadmap. So it's your topic plus your opinion plus your 3 things make up your thesis statement, okay? Then I want you to create your outline for us. I want you to start to organize your thoughts and putting them where they begin. Oops, that's a total screw up on my part. Putting them where they belong. Oh my goodness, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, there we go. I have a reminder showing up too. Where they belong. So putting them where they belong. Figure out your body paragraph topics, which are going to come from your thesis. Remember that thesis statement helps you to organize your paper and elaborating on them. So kind of like a sample. You would start off with your introductory paragraph. You'd have your major detail. The first one might be your writing belief. You know, that is this question about your attitude about writing. So you're going to tell me, what is your belief? You're going to explain it to me. You're going to then tell me, why is this belief important to understand? Like, why do I need to understand that belief? And then what is the impact of this belief on your writing ability, and your ability to actually write? If you believe this about writing, if you believe you can't do it because you have to be born with it, that's going to impact you, okay? So I want you to explore what that impact is. And then maybe the next one, and I'm just making this up, is on brainstorming, that next major detail. So how do you usually brainstorm? Why does this technique work for you? And how does it impact and influence your individual writing? And I forgot my question mark, which is why it had blue squigglies. Okay, so you would continue this for each of your major details that you've identified. Again, your paper does not need to be 5 paragraphs. It can be significantly more, or you know, that's really okay. Don't go under 5. You're never going to pull off the paper pages of 3 to 4 pages if you only do 5 paragraphs. Okay. The next thing you need to do is to write your actual rough draft, and I'm going to also encourage you to submit it on your NetTutor, okay? Submit it in NetTutor. And then finally, you need to print and bring a copy to class, okay? And print it and bring a copy. I don't know why that went down there. Here, hold on. I'll go like that. Print and bring a copy of it to class, okay? That's the next thing that I want you to do. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to throw it back over here. And so for our out of class work, again, I am looking under hybrid. I click on out of class work. We're going to look at week 2, which is going to become available for you here just in a minute or two here once I get done with all of this stuff. Let me move this over again. We have some introduction, and then we have, again, a paragraph on coherence, a paragraph, some development for you, some tips and tricks for your writing, introductions and conclusions. We are going to spend a lot of time on intros and conclusions in class next week, just so you know. A lot of activities, similar to how I had you do activities with thesis statements and stuff, because I know that that makes it beneficial for you. There's a video here on how to actually format your paper properly so that it looks right on a document. There's a place for you to give yourself some writer's room information, like this is where you can give some feedback about how class is going. Then there is that lecture from the other faculty member who teaches the same paper. And why did this happen again? Okay, I'm going to move this down. Then you're to submit your paper. And then the journal. It usually takes about 48 to 72 hours. So if you can submit your paper before October 31st to them, you bring it into class to me, you are going to get feedback from the NetTutor, and you're going to get feedback from the class on your paper before you have to submit a draft for your final draft for grade. So use this feature, people. Use it. You'd be silly not to. Then there will be one final writer's room check-in for you as well. And I don't know why that's not there. I will make sure all of this stuff is cleaned up for you, though, before you begin. There's also a lecture for you to watch on best practices, and then also one on how to properly do revision, and then you're out of week work, and that's pretty much it. So that's it. I look forward to talking to you guys on Halloween next Monday. I will bring some candy. Please do me a huge favor, though. Somebody remind me, because 3 kids, you know, it can get crazy. So go ahead and remind me, and I will pretty much call it an end for this video, because I'm sure you're tired of listening to me ramble. And that's about it. So remind me about Halloween candy and email me with any questions. Thanks so much. Bye.